Alright guys, just gonna cover some stuff that we went over in the seminar this weekend as review and just a little glimpse of some of the stuff that we worked for self-defense, defending strikes from guard.
So I'm gonna start from close guard here. And the first thing I want to pay attention to is anytime somebody wants to try and strike me, typically they're gonna have to lift their weight off of their heels, okay? In Jiu-jitsu we like to have good posture on the top, but if you want to reach for the face, it's kind of hard to reach from all the way over here. So they're gonna come off of their heels, right? And this is gonna compromise our base. So as he does that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my knees to my chest, okay? And in the process, there's a few ways that we can evade the strikes, but what I wanna do is I wanna cover up and I wanna swim on the inside, okay? So I'm gonna tuck my chin in, I'm gonna cover up, I'm gonna face my palm outwards, and I'm gonna swim as he comes up. So as soon as he lifts his body up to strike, I'm gonna pull my knees in, I'm gonna swim, I'm gonna come to the top of the head here, not the base of the neck, where he's still strong and he can posture. I wanna come to the top of the head. I'm gonna grab an overhook, nice and tight, and I'm gonna try and shrimp off to my side, okay? Now I shrimp off to my side for a couple of reasons. One, I like to touch my elbow to my knee so that it kind of keeps my ribs safe from body shots. The other reason is if I'm straight onto him, right, it's gonna be easier for him to posture up and kind of lift my body weight off the ground. But if I cut an angle, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult, okay? Now, when we're rolling in a real situation, it might be difficult to come onto our side like this, but we always wanna try and aim for the ideal, okay? So two things I wanna do from here. The first, I wanna try standing up, okay? So when I stand up, I'm gonna take my overhook out, I'm gonna slide my forearm and the neck, okay? If he has fabric, I like to grab the fabric. If not, we can just grab onto the shoulder, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is a lot of people, right, the first time they do this is they wanna push out to try and get space. And I don't wanna push out. The reason is that my energy is directed into his shoulder. And I wanna make this uncomfortable for him. So what I'm gonna do is instead of pushing outwards, I'm gonna flare my elbow, okay? My elbow's at about 9 o'clock. I'm gonna try my best to flare it all the way up to 12 o'clock, okay? Another thing that we're going to do is we're going to start standing up in base, okay? Now to stand up in base is kind of difficult if we have all of their weight onto us. So what I'm going to do is with my top leg, I'm going to kick down and I'm going to look away. I'm going to kick down and look away, okay? So we're here and I go like this. It's going to be a lot easier to come up onto our elbow. So we're here, I bring this across his neck, okay? I'm still pulling on his head. I'm going to flare my elbow up. I'm gonna kick, look away, and I'm not gonna hop up onto my hand. I'm just gonna flare my hand out and build up a frame, okay? I'm gonna continue to flare, stand up in base, fighting stance, okay? The second thing we're gonna do is we're gonna address punches to the face. So, as soon as he comes in to strike, boom, I wanna swim, I wanna get onto my side, I wanna hold his head, okay? I wanna get my overhook. Here, I'm safe if he tries to strike me in the body, but if he tries to come over top to the head, I'm gonna come to the crook of the elbow, okay? I don't wanna waste time trying to catch punches here, okay? It's too erratic, it's too unpredictable. So I'm just gonna, almost like we're stopping a crossface, okay? And I keep a hook in my hand just in case if his arm travels up, it'll stop, okay? I'm gonna feed it onto my shin, right? And then from here, I wanna keep pulling on my hand while I'm extending with my knee, okay, causing a little bit of discomfort for his bicep. From here, I'm just gonna slide this down to the wrist. To get a little bit of space, I like to kind of shoulder my weight back. I'm gonna chamber my foot as I punch his wrist out. I'm gonna bring my leg straight over top, bite down, grab the shin, okay? From here, if I need to adjust my angle, I'll do so. Lock up the triangle, okay? One more time. So for standing up, he goes to strike, boom, I control, right, get onto my side, touch my elbow to my knee to block the body shots. I'm gonna bring this hand over top, not for the striking, I'm gonna bring this hand over top onto the far side elbow. I'm gonna kick my weight up as I flare my elbow and come up onto my other elbow, okay? Onto my hand, slide up, stand up in base, the entire time continuing to flare this, okay? It makes it very difficult for him to follow. Second sequence, he comes into strike. I swim, come onto my side, he goes for the face. I block, I just slide my arm down right to the crook of the elbow. Feed it onto my knee, come down to the wrist, shoulder out. I punch the wrist down as I chamber my foot, bring it over top, finish the triangle.